Let's head over to California, where College Game Day is at, by the way, where Miami has to travel across the entire country and play against a somewhat of a frisky California team that gotta believe that Jaden Ott is a little bit healthier now. A
So
Miami team that got gashed by Virginia Tech.
it's 9:30 at night too. 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern Time, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a
Wow.
late game. The body clock for the Miami players. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we don't see a lot of these games, especially considering that this is a conference game. We don't see a lot of games like this. Um, I I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Miami's
Color
defense
me
just looked
intrigued. Absolutely.
Miami's defense looked good the first couple weeks, but again, who did they play? Not a lot there. And then you just had Virginia Tech just waltz in there and just give them problems. And this is after Kyron Jones had been playing horribly. Kyron Jones had been playing absolutely horribly. And he comes out there, throws for 189 yards, two touchdowns. Bajal Tootin running for 141 yards, 7.4 yards a clip. If a healthy Jade Knott's in there, well, what's he going to do to this Miami defense?
Yeah, absolutely. Cal, or let me rephrase that. Virginia Tech had a chance to put that game away last Friday, by the way. So yes, Miami does have to travel. They do get an extra day to rest, recuperate, and be able to prepare for this long travel in this late night game. Virginia Tech had the ball after an interception, right in deep in Miami territory, and they got stopped on fourth down as they were up 10 in that third quarter and then second half there. That's a game, that's a possession. You'd love to see them put it away and make it a three-score game. California has to be able to do that too. We saw them not be able to go for the jugular against Auburn. Now Auburn had zero chance, right, to get these to move the football in that football game. Now, was that Cal's defense or was that Auburn's offense? I think it's a little bit of both. But you're right, though. Jaden Knott has to be a difference maker in this football game. They have to. First of all, running the football does a lot of things for you. It churns clock, it keeps drives moving, and it also keeps Cam Ward and that offense off the field for Miami and gives you opportunities on for defense to get rest, to regroup, and also it puts pressure on Miami because if you see your defense getting gashed and just not being able to stop the run, right, you have to be you're almost pressing, right? You almost have to score. The game gets shortened, you get fewer possessions, but also those possessions start meaning something more because of the way your defense is struggling to stop the run. Yeah, man. At home, I think the crowd's going to be pretty excited for this football game down there in Berkeley. I was really disappointed in how they played against Florida State. Really disappointed. I thought they'd go in there and get a win. Now they did have to travel across the country. They
They
do
missed
get a
three field goals or two field
yeah,
goals, and then you would have been kicking a field goal at the end of the game had you made one of those two field goals. Yeah.
exactly. So it obviously shoulda, coulda, woulda here. This one scares me. I think it'll be a close game. I think Cal keeps it close. I do wonder though, Miami, we knew a dud was coming. We knew a dud was going to come at some point on their schedule, maybe a couple times. I do wonder if that dud was gotten out of the way with that Virginia Tech football game. And now Miami, with game day coming in, a lot of pressure. They are amped up to go for this football game. Cam Ward is difference maker in this football game, obviously for Miami. We have seen him throw turnovers, and this California team, very opportunistic, very, very dangerous. I will go Miami to win, but I'll take Cal to cover, whether it be backdoor, whether it just be a hard fought, low scoring football game. Maybe not low scoring, but just kind of grinded out football game for both sides here. So Miami to win, but I'll take plus 12 and a half for Cal.
With California's defense, I know I talked about SMU and like how they've kind of relied on turnovers, and that's kind of was a red flag for me for SMU. Like, is this defense actually that good? In California's aspect, like they've impressed me aside from the fact that they forced turnovers. They haven't gotten like they've only recovered one fumble in the year, so like the bounce of the ball hasn't really gone their way, but they've forced 10 interceptions, which is number one in the entire country. Cam Ward has been prone to throw interceptions and try to make throws that he thinks he can make, but just can't quite. I think California keeps us close. I know you'd think like, hey, Miami, that last game was a wake up call, but I think it's going to be tough traveling. I think
Hmm.
California is going to try to run the ball with Jaden on. I think they're going to have success doing that. I think Mendoza isn't a bad quarterback. I think California's defense is really good. I'm going to take California to cover, and I'm also going to take California to win this football game. I'm going to do it at home. They get it done. The Golden Bears take down top 10 Miami, Florida.
Cal is also a team that has not been healthy at the wide receiver position. We're hoping that they can get healthy over this bye week here.
I don't know that they will. I think Merriweather's still going to be out. I'm not sure about the status of Brady and Grays. I'm not sure. I think it's more important that Jaden Ott is healthy,
Definitely, definitely.
obviously.
But
But like,
it would be
I think
nice.
Mendoza, it would be nice, but I think Mendoza can manage because he has been managing without it. I mean, their passing offense hasn't looked amazing, but it's like he's been taking care of the football at least, which something that I didn't necessarily expect coming into the season. Now here's the thing. This could be a situation where Miami, if they pin their ears back and go after Mendoza, I mean, California, they've let up 16 sacks, and you saw against FSU, FSU got after him. But you know what? Mendoza's a gamer, and he still stood in there, and I was really impressed with his poise, despite, now, it wasn't perfect at times, despite the absolute menacing pass rush that was in his face. And this is an even better pass rush. So that is the side of this equation that I'm very concerned about for Cal, but I'm not betting this. But I just kind of like Cal in this spot, dude. I just kind of like it. Maybe that's an overreaction to the game last week. Maybe Cam Ward does dice up the secondary and doesn't turn the ball over. Maybe they stop Jaden Ott in his tracks. I don't know, but I'm feeling a little golden today. Let's go,
Here's what I'll say
Cal.
too. I don't think it's an overreaction because we've been talking about this game for months now. It seems like back all the way
Yeah,
in
well,
the
you and
summer.
I, the only ones that circled this game on our schedule.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, game day, late to the party, as always. But to me, my last concern here is in terms of for Cal, I thought Auburn did a good job when they wanted to, and they had positive game script and also ahead of the chains. Florida State did too. They ran the ball well, and if Martinez and Fletcher and they get going there, and Miami commits to running the ball, I know it's so hard. Sometimes when you have a dynamic quarterback like Cam Ward, you don't like taking the ball out of his hands, but sometimes you have to. And on the road, just like I said, all the benefits for Cal and running the football. Miami can do the same thing there to reverse to Cal. I think that's my weak spot for, California's front seven, maybe not being super big and physical up front against his big offensive line for Miami. But yeah, I think more times than not, California covers. It's a close game, but it would not surprise me to see Miami just kind of come out and play crazy because they are talented. They are more talented than Cal, obviously. No surprise there, but Cal's so well coached. Will Cox will have him going. Mendoza, like you said, frisky. It's going to be a great game. And the travel, too. I mean, we're seeing this happen. Like Miami played, right, last night or last week, right? They've been playing a while now, and all of a sudden they got to go. And before their bye week, they got to go across the country, man. I think it's something. I don't know if it's everything, but it's something.